Gimel Amud Aleph, we're starting from Bet Amud Bet, 3 lines from the bottom. Are you ready to have fun? Amar li Rav Matna le Abaye. Rav Matna asked Abaye, Ha tamne havyen? What do you say that our Mishnah has only 2 cases? Ha tamne havyen? Tartesari havyen. There are 12 cases.
Oh my God!
So look at the pink, okay? We have 4 cases that are chayav, נכון?
Yes, the 2 times.
Green one, 1, 2, 3, 4 that are chayav.
Okay.
But we have also 4 cases that are patur. What are the cases? Look at the
rich
pink.
man puts
Each
his
pink,
hand
because
out.
this is akira by rich man. This is anacha by poor. This is akira by poor guy, and this is anacha by rich. So 1, 2, look at the pin, 3, 4. The same thing over here. Since every action was done by a different person on each scenario, those are each one action is 2.
Why is that? Why is that enough? Why? That's.
Exactly, yeah.
It should be 16 then.
The pulo. There were 2 actions to each. On the bottom one, on 3. Sorry.
That's why it says 12. 8 plus 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
All the pinks on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's
There
just
are
like how the
4.
top is
1,
4.
2. This is one
One,
guy
two,
acting.
one is-
Come on, Ashim. One guy
2,
acting.
4, 6, 8. Lemana, the 2 orange.
No,
No,
Lemala, it's 4. It's
Because
one
each
guy
person is
acting.
doing the same thing.
It's
I
one
got-
person makes the A
The
to
same
Z.
action.
Here, 2 people making it. That's why we
Right,
have
yeah,
2 different
before.
colors.
Oh.
זה אשכנזי וספרדי, אתה מבין? So the 2 different colors you have over here.
The first one, only one answer.
Over there we have
Shama Lemana בפור, שכתוב the first corner, למעלה.
that same guy, red and red.
But it's circle and square.
Because the action, he did different actions.
רבנו,
But the actions are,
The circle and square just shows if you brought in or
למעלה יש לך 4,
or
למטה יש לך 8, 4,
I thought it was
12.
because of he was a poor man and a rich man.
no,
שתי אנשים
Shmuel said that
No,
total
the
of
first one's always
12. למעלה, one guy acting on each one. נכון?
So it's just one. That's just one, because he just did it on his own.
2, 3, 4. 4 actors.
Okay.
Here we have, on each case, 4 actors.
Sylvester Stallone.
But then, what
So
happens?
here we have 4 and 4. 4 and 4, 8, plus the 4 on top, 12.
The reason he's saying the bottom is 4 is because they're both participating.
מה אתה אומר?
This is 8.
איפה 8? איפה? Case number 1, here 1 we have 2 cases, נכון? 2 actors. Here we have 2 cases, 2 plus 2.
אכפת לי actors.
That's what אכפת לי.
That's the difference.
That's the cases over here.
Because
How
the
many
bottom there's 2
actions we have over here?
On the
Here
top
was
it's
1 guy is
cases.
doing everything, here is 1 guy. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 guy, poor guy does everything. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we have 1 poor and then the action of the rich guy.
This is
So,
double.
by the way, the halacha
This is
applies.
double,
I think you know what? Let me answer more. Here, the halacha applies to whom?
One person.
One person. Here, the halacha applies to whom?
people.
2 people.
Oh, that's
That's
why.
Okay, that's a better way of saying it. So 4 and
8.
total of 12. So again, let's see the Gemara. The Gemara asks, "Amar le Rav Nachman le Abaye, ha tamne aven." There are 8. Tartisari aven. There are 12. The Gemara says, "Velitamich." According to you, if this is how you're breaking it down, Shitri sari aven. There are 16.
100%. 100%.
There are 4 more. What's a 4 more?
The top people get
Because
2.
here, on our case, by the poor guy, the balabait,
Enable the
You
other
want
one.
to say because on
yeah,
top,
the balabait was,
it's 4 chiyuvim, you're saying.
it said here, the balabait
Okay.
is the one also acting. And here, the poor guy also acting.
Wait, why are you saying that? Why don't you just say there's 2 chiyuvim?
Well, how is
No,
that?
that's what the about acting.
No,
No, so, what's the case over here?
For each person.
Here, he does action that is patur. What is the job of balabait over here?
Receiving.
He's putting it in his hand. לא, הוא שם לו ביד. לא, הוא שם את היד שלו.
לא, זה לא עושה כלום.
מה אתה אומר? אבל הוא עושה משהו. זו התשובה. הוא עושה משהו, נכון?
He's involved
He's
somehow.
involved. Here, the בעל הבית שם את היד שלו, right? So he's also a factor.
לא שם את היד
That's
שלו,
why
הוא
he
לקח את
specifically
זה.
said.
No, but his hand is like
Yeah, that's
this.
why he specifically
הוא לא הניח את זה על היד שלו.
בקייס ראשון,
אתה אומר?
זה למה?
אוקיי.
לקח מהסלסלה.
הוא עקר את זה.
ידו של בעל בית. הוא שם את זה ביד, הוא שם...
בעל הבית סגור.
הוא פטור, אבל...
אם הוא לא היה שם, היד שלו לא
אני
הייתה...
אשים אותו בבית שלו וזהו. אני אשים אותו בבית שלו וזהו. אז בעל הבית בא, זה לא בית שלי, תודה. אותו דבר.
לא, פה הוא שם את זה בתוך היד שלו, זה זנבור.
זה בא, הוא לא עושה כלום.
זה זנבור.
אני שמח!
That's why it's פטור.
But that's why we're trying to get or maybe there's 60.
Because בעל הבית is also involved. היד שלו פה, הוא לוקח מהיד שלו.
לא, אולי הוא פשוט עומד שם.
בעל הבית is involved also.
בעל הבית זה הקירה?
לא, לא, לא. הוא שם את היד שלו.
didn't
לא,
do
אבל
it.
יש לך עוד דין שהוא פטור, נכון? בעל הבית חייב או
Yeah,
פטור.
but he's involved.
He's also פטור, נכון? He's involved in פטור.
That's what we're
So
saying.
בעל הבית is
אני אומר שאין פה פעולה,
אין
הרב.
פטור. בסדר. לא,
הוא רק-
אבל he's involved.
הוא רק-
הבעל הבית
מחזיק את זה.
מעורבים, הוא מעורב.
הוא רק מחזיק את זה.
בלי הבעל הבית, without the בעל הבית, רגע, one second, without the בעל הבית, would that be happened?
כן?
No,
שיניח את זה על השולחן.
לא, הוא שם את היד
בדיוק,
מהחלום,
שיניח את זה
הוא לא
בבית
מגיע.
שלו, זהו.
תכלס, it happened from the hand of בעל הבית. הוא היה מעורב. תגיד, בעל הבית is innocent?
כן,
is innocent? לא innocent?
למה לא?
הוא קצת חמור?
פטור.
הלו, you see בן אדם does action on שבת, אחי, תוזיז לו את היד, מה?
אז אחרי זה הוא זיז אותו את זה, אז הוא זיז את זה.
לא, לא, he said, don't let them take from your hands on שבת.
תגיד להגיד בכלל שלא יתחילו עם האקשן.
תחילה בו וזהו. Therefore you're doubling each one.
Right? It's not on four.
Therefore you have 4 on top and then 4 on the bottom.
So 8 and 8, so
8 and 8.
16.
Put down the top.
Okay?
Do you have a choice?
Okay. Now the Gemara says, Amar le answer to him, last line, Halo Kashya. It's not a question. למה?
I love that about
בישלמה.
Really, 32.
בבא דרישא,
לא קשה.
בישלמה, I can understand. בבא דרישא, on the top two cases, פטור ומותר, לא קטני. In בבא דרישא, what is the בעל הבית doing? It's פטור and it's מותר, he didn't do anything wrong.
זה לכתחילה?
בעל הבית didn't do anything wrong.
That's why it said
So
that.
therefore, over there,
שמעתי, הוא לא עושה כלום.
okay, but you have to understand.
You have to go
When
through
the
it.
Gemara asks a question,
No, I mean-
you gotta leave the question. When you got the answer, you relive the answer.
אפילו אם הוא שם את זה בבית שלו.
כן, כן, אוקיי, but
זה
yeah.
הדבר הכי קשה.
לא, בן, if he's not
You
doing
know it's
anything.
not right, you
לא,
have to
אבל
go
זה
through
אותו דבר.
it.
אם הוא לא עושה כלום, הוא בבית שלו, ואני בא, מביא לו את זה ביד
Then it's
שלו.
okay. So that's what the Gemara says. The other great two cases that we added, 2 on each, since the בעל doesn't do anything, זה פטור ומותר. הוא לא עושה, הוא לא עושה כלום, מה אתה
We
רוצה
knew that
ממנו?
already, but you have
So הוא לא ממש חמור, הוא תרנגול, כאילו. אם הוא לא ממש חמור, then it's okay. So the Gemara says again, בבא דרש פטור ומותר, לא קטני. אלא, but our question is it should be 16, אלא בבא דסייפא by the two lower cases. The פטור, אבל אסור. If both of them are involved and both of them אסורים on the lower two cases. Kashya, you have a question, so why don't you say, so that there are 16, there are 12 cases. 4 top, and the bottom one, since on the bottom one, each one of them, each involved, on the bottom one, is פטור אבל אסור. מוכרח לעשות חצי מזה, נכון?
למה זו שאלה?
So, no, so-
16 was the שאלה.
No, so I said, that's why 16 is not a question, because the top 4 are not really a case, because the Balabai didn't do anything.
So back to 12.
However, we're back to 12.
That's why I
Look
didn't
at the
mention.
Gemara's question.
Yeah, that's what we ask about 12. That's what we learned down.
However, with
We
that
asked, it's
logic-
still 12.
שיטה יודעת, זה גם-
Why don't we say 12? Why we say only 8?
רגע,
אוקיי.
בגמרא.
From the beginning, if it would be 16 cases, מה הקשר שגם הבעל הבית צריך להיות חייב?
לא, לא, לכתוב את הקס שלו. תגיד, זה גם מקרה, למה אתה לא מדבר
We're
עליו?
answering also the same thing, that we don't say פטור אבל אסור.
אני צריך לחכה שנייה.
That's
Gemara
why the bottom ones
says-
get canceled out now.
אלא, so the top line הוא גיבל לדבר, אלא בבא דסייפא, the person at the end, the פטור אבל אסור, קשיה, it's a קשיה, why don't we bring this case of, also, there are really 12 cases because each one of them is פטור אבל אסור. The Gemara asks, מאיקה בכולי שבת, פטור ומותר, you just said that the case over there that we, מאיקה is there is, in all of Masechet Shabbat cases, that patur umutar, you said that the case of the balabait is patur on the top cases. When the balabait was passive, no.
Yeah.
Passive, it's patur and mutar. The Gemara says there are such cases in Shabbat that you patur and mutar. If you patur, that means you're doing something wrong. If so, how come it's mutar?
Why? If you patur?
Ve'amar
worse to
Shmuel,
move the
if you patur, no, because you involved. Ve'amar Shmuel, Shmuel says, Kol pturi de Shabbat, anytime the Shabbat that are patur, aval asur. Every time, even you are patur, it's still prohibited
Why? Patur
to do
means
so.
okay.
לא, פטור, you פטור, אבל it's still חמור, אז אסור.
בדיוק, אבל
בר, let me just finish, מה הוא יצא? בר מהנתלת, except the only following three cases, the פטור ומותר. It's פטור to do it, and it's still מותר to do it, which is סדת צבי. Rashi didn't get into it, so I will not get into it today. Trapping a deer, וצדת נחה, trapping a snake. On Shabbat, umafis mursa, opening a wound. On, except those three. Umafis mursa, and opening a wound. So if so, you see that in Shabbat, Shmuel said, there are no other cases that patur and mutar except these three. So how can it be that our cases in the Mishnah, the involvement on the top cases of Balabait, when he was passive, it's patur, aval mutar, opening up a wound. Patur and mutar.
Because maybe it's like a snake. It's worse to let it go.
No, but it's not. Only the three cases. Those are the only three cases. The Gemara says, no, your understanding there are only three cases are not correct. When Shmuel bring cases that patur and mutar, pturi de ka'avid ma'aseh. There are only three cases that someone is doing an action and will be patur and mutar, like trapping a deer, a snake, opening a wound. אבל פטורי דלא כעביד מעשה, cases that patur and yet mutar, and he's not doing any action, he's a passive, ika tuva. There are many of them. So the Gemara answer, you said at the beginning that those cases patur aval mutar. The Gemara said there is such a thing. There are only three cases Shmuel brought that patur and mutar. The Gemara said Shmuel brought only three cases when you are active at patur and mutar. Meaning you're doing an action. But cases that the person is a passive and patur and mutar, there are many. So we can still have our answer that there is no problem of 16. The first, because the top four are patur and mutar. So the only kasha remain is there only can be 12. The Gemara says, Mikol makom, tartesari avien, there are 12. How can we say there are only 8? So the Gemara, a simple answer. Pturi dati behuli de chiyuv chatat kachashiv. A patur that can cause a person to bring korban chatat, we mentioned. Delo ati lidei chiyuv chatat, lo kachashiv. So only cases that people are patur that might lead into a case of chayav chatat, we wrote in our Mishnah, which means there are 4 cases clear over here. The 4 more over here, the 4 more cases over here, but we're done with it. The 4 more cases over here, only cases that can lead into chatat, which means only in the case that we had an akira, if somebody did an akira, it can lead him into chatat if he does a anacha, but he didn't do anacha. But it's a case that might lead him into chatat.
If case.
So the only cases that we have can lead chatat, it's only when the person who initiated akira. So 1,
That's why it's
2, 3, 4.
Now we're back to 8.
Now we're back to 8. So the first original 1, 2, 3, 4. The person did full actions. And 4 more that can cause a person, in case he did an anacha, in case he placed it to chiyuv chatat. That's why we have 8 cases in our Mishnah.
What did it start with at the beginning? What was the first thing?
Akira.
Of the number?
Uproot.
No, the number of cases.
2
The
she'ena
first one.
בפנים ו2 she'ena
So it was
בחוץ.
8. Then they added, they got the 12, they got the 16, back to 12, back to 8.
2 people.
That's the whole.
If both of them are patur, but there are 2 people. They says, but the Gemara says no. Things that can lead into chatat, into a full chiyuv, we wrote. So a guy who just did anacha can never become chayav chatat. Only the one who did akira, if he will do a anacha, it can be led to chiyuv chatat. Initiated, right? So that's why we have those 4 cases. Cases that can lead into חטאת. The other one, לא, פטור מותר זה למעלה. זה נכנס למעלה, when בעל הבית was passive. Those are the cases פטור ומותר.
אבל למטה יש פטור ומותר.
לא, פטור אבל אסור. Because he's part of it. He's helping him. We're going to see in a second. The Gemara says, לא ככה, the Gemara asks, שניהם פטורים. Now we finish with our question. The reason we wrote 8, because there are 4 on top that חייב, and 4 on the bottom that חייב מדרבנן, that can lead into full action of חטאת. The Gemara asks, שניהם פטורים. On the last 2 cases, we said both of them are patur because each one did half. How come? It'avida melacha mibenayu. An action was done between them. So how come that patur when both of them, between both of them, a melacha, an action of Shabbat came out, was done? The Gemara says we have a special limud. Tani Rebbe Omer, me'am haaretz ba'asotav. The pasuk says that if somebody sinned and did an avera, me'am haaretz ba'asotav, by doing it. העושה את הסוטה, מה זה הסוטה? תגיד בעשות, כשהוא עושה. מה זה הסוטה? עושה אותה. teaching us, העושה את כולה, הוא בחייב, ולא העושה את מקצתה. only if you do everything, הוא חייב. but if you do partial, פטור. therefore, יחיד ועשה אותה חייב. if individual did full מלאכה, בעשותה, he did it fully, חייב. 2 ועשו אותה, if 2 people did it, פטורים. התמרנמי, we said the same thing. אמר רב חייא בר גמדא, נזרקה מפי החבורה ואמרו. They were sitting in the group and it came out of their mouth and they said, בעשותה. The same לימוד. יחיד שעשה חייב. 2 שעשהו, 2 people which did it, would be פטורים.
פטורים אבל אסור?
פטורה אבל אסור. ביי מיני, let me turn to the floor. By mine, by mine Rav miderebi. Rav asked Rebbe a question. All of the cases of our Mishnah were when it was done by hands. Nachon? I pick it up from the rich guy hand. He put it in the poor guy hand. Et ino chavero ochalim umashkim. If you were standing by the house of your friend and your friend put on top of you a bag of chalot, he didn't put it in your hand.
A backpack.
A backpack. He put a backpack by you. And he himself didn't pick up anything. You're standing over there, and you're putting on top of me something, a backpack, without me making any movement. I didn't do akira. The cases of our Mishnah that we did in akira. I picked it up. He didn't pick it up. You're standing in your friend, he put something on top of you, ve'otzian levachut, and you go outside with it. Is that considered that you uproot the object yourself or not?
No.
Mao, akirat gufo, the Gemara questioned it. Akirat gufo, when you're uprooting your body from the house to the street, ki akirat chefetz mimkomo dami, because when you're moving your body, what else you're moving? The object. So is that considered that you uproot the object from its place, and therefore it's an akira to be chayav for? Or mechayev, or dilma, lo, or maybe not. I didn't pick up the action myself. I just moved my body. The cases of the Mishnah when I picked up the object. Here, I didn't pick up any object.
What about clothing?
Somebody loaded me and he put it on me.
It's like clothing.
The Gemara says, Amar le chayav. He told them, will be chayav. Ve'eno dome leyado. It's not similar to his hand. Lama? We said in our Mishnah, if the poor guy had his hand inside of the rich guy, and the rich guy put the basket into his hand, and he took it outside, what's it in? Patur. If the poor guy was inside and he put it on top of him, and the poor guy walked outside, we just said now will be chayav. Why? What's it in the hand? If the rich put it at the hand of the poor guy, will be patur. If the rich put it at the body of the poor guy and he walked outside, what's the reason that he will be chayav? So he said, "Ve'eno dome liyado." My tama gufo nayach. His body, it's resting on the ground. You know, they said, "May you rest in peace." Nachon? We're also resting now, but without peace. We are standing now on the ground. You nach. So you already rovet. You know, you're on the ground. So when you're moving yourself, you're making an akira. Aval yado lo naich. The hand is not nach. Hand is movable. Therefore, by a hand, if
אני לא
somebody,
מובן, רק אני לא מובן.
if the hand, you are, no, you're here. The hand is something movable. So if somebody put it on my hand and I took it out, it's not considered I did an akira. But if somebody put it on my body is considered it is resting. And when you walked outside, it's considered that you did a
Technically, your
melacha
body
on
never
Shabbat.
moved. Your
Huh?
body never moved from its place. Your hand.
Exactly. The hand
I
is
move
not.
my hand.
No. It's not about moving. Your hand is not settled to consider you uprooting. If your hand is in the
His
air,
whole move still stayed in the same place. His hand just
that
extended
your
out.
hand is not
My
set.
hand stays in place, I carry it ככה. מה?
מה אתה אומר? יפה. So your hand is not something settled that you are moving it. Because your hand is moving all over. נכון?
גם הגוף שלי זז.
No, hopefully not. Your body is gotta be there. You gotta be in the same place. Your hand, it's something that is out of your body.
You have to think about the word uprooting.
The Gemara
That's
says,
the
guys,
key.
we'll analyze it in a minute.
Yeah.
אמר לי רב חייא לרב,
But in this case, you're not moving your feet.
so
You're at your
רב,
motion, your hand just extended in and out. You didn't move your body.
If you have your pivot foot
didn't-
moving the
you
ball,
didn't-
are you traveling?
No.
If you're on your pivot foot and you're moving the ball, are you traveling?
I never tried.
okay, right there.
Just so
never
to
tried.
make sure I
Yeah.
understand,
Basketball
if you had your hand like this and you put it on your hand and you lifted it,
If
that's
somebody
basically
put it
the
in
top
my
one.
hand, if somebody put it on my
But
hand,
not like that. Let's say it's the same thing as you picking it up because this is
that's
the...
2 days. In 2
that's
days we'll talk about if your hand was in the floor.
בוא נראה
I
ששוטר
think
אומר
we'll put the
don't
hand in the
move,
window.
ובן אדם שם ידיים בכיסים והוא יורד
Sitting here in 2 days.
הוא אומר לו הוא לא זז.
אמר לרב חייא לרב, says רב חייא, next page, רב חייא said to רב, בר פחתי, רב asked the question from Rebbe, the Gemara said, רב חייא said to רב, בר פחתי, son of גדולים, the son of big people, לא אמין עליו, didn't I tell you? חיקאי רבי בהמסכתא, when Rebbe is learning one מסכת, לא תשאלה במסכת האחריתא. Don't ask him in another מסכת. So, Rav asked Rebbe a question on Hilchot Shabbat, when Rebbe didn't learn Masechet of Shabbat. So he
Rebbe
told
didn't
them,
learn?
didn't I tell you before already? If Rebbe is learning one Masechet, don't ask him another Masechet. Lama? Dilmen lavadaitai. Maybe he's not well immersed, learned into, he's not in it, he's not in the topic. Now, the love the Rebbe Gavra Rabahu, unless Rebbe would be, since Rebbe is a big man who knows everything, kasafti, you could have embarrassed him. He would answer to you something that is not a good answer. Meaning, don't ask somebody that is not holding in the topic. You go to Rav, what's the halacha regarding Hilchot Shatnez? He's not any Shatnez, leave him alone.
You just said he knows everything, so it's a
No, he
contradiction.
said, no, so he said, you're lucky. A Rebbe who knows everything, you happen to get the right answer. Because somebody else, you would have embarrassed him. Now, the Gemara explained the logic that bothers Raphael. Ashtami Ashapir Meshani Lach. And now, when he gave you the answer, it's a good answer. The Tanya, as we see a Beraita who supports what Rebbe said. Ayat ta'un ochalim umashkim. If somebody was loaded on his body, food and drink, מבעוד יום, from before Shabbat, והוציאן לחוץ משחשיכה, חייב. If on Friday you have a backpack with drink on you, and you take it out on, when Shabbat enter, you're taking out from your house to the street, it will be חייב. לפי שאינו דומה לידו, because your body, like Rebbe said, is not similar to your hand. So you will see in this Friday exactly what Rebbe said. The hand is not resting, but your body is resting. So anybody had food on his hand and he took it out will be chaya, on his body and he took it out will be chaya. Chazor.
Here, hit the
Just review the last part.